Yo, what is going on, guys? Experience Share here, bringing you, oh my god, a cool ass battle. This battle is gonna be long as fuck, but I hope you stick around because there is going to be a huge stall fest, but it is probably one of the best stall you'll ever see in your life. I guarantee you that much. You can write it down. You can put a memo on your iPad, iPhone, whatever if you're rich, or just an iStone if you're poor. I really don't give a fuck. But this will be indeed one of the best stall matches I've ever had, and that's the reason why I even uploaded this battle in the first place. So, looking at teams, I built this team with my nigga. We pumped Pokemon. I'll leave his link down below. We made it together. We actually peaked really high with this, and it's actually a very cool team. It's basically 5 threats and an Almamola. We got Quiver Dance Lilligant, Lumberry Durant, Wish Pass Almamola, Scarf Rotom, Standard Rodigon with Stealth Rock Offensive, and Swords Dance Lumberry Gallade too. My opponent is running Aerodactyl, Tangrowth, Miltank, Quagsire, Rotom Cut, and Entei. So, he has stuff that's weak to grass, then he has fucking Miltank with Sap Sipper, I'm guessing. He has a powerful team, actually. I'm really not gonna question his decisions. So, looking at leads, definitely looking at the Aerodactyl, so I'm going to lead off with my Rotom Cut, and we'll go from there. Voice Crack for the win. Anyways, I'm gonna go for Volt Switch, really have no business staying in right here. He goes into his Quagsire, makes a good play, absorbs it, and I really don't know what to do. I don't know if he wants the Toxic or not. So, I'm going to Durant, predicting the Toxic initially, but he makes a double out into his Entei, which I thought was a very good play. So, I'm gonna go into Almamola, and this man predicts me yet again and goes into his Rotom Mow. I'm like, yo, dude, you gotta stop doing this, please. So, I'll go for Protect. He goes for Volt Switch. I know I can take it, so I'm gonna set up a Wish. And I do indeed take it. So, for instance, I get the Switch initiative on this turn. He goes into his Tangrowth. I'm gonna put a Toxic on that. Actually, I didn't go for Wish. I predicted the Switch went for Toxic. Really don't care. At this point, I'm just gonna go for Protect to scout if he's lefties or if he's Specs. And he goes for Giga Drain, and Leftovers confirms that he's a Bulky variant and not a Specs one. So for this reason, I'm going to switch out. I'm gonna go to my Durant, not really fearing the HP Fire. I was predicting the Sleep Powder, so I wanted him to get some more poison damage. But in this turn, I think he's gonna switch out to Entei, so I'm going to make a double out into my Almamola, and that is exactly what happened. So I'm finally starting to predicting things correctly. And things are looking good right now. He has nothing to take a Toxic, so I'm gonna go for it again. He switches into his Miltank, but I went into my Druddigon, predicting some sort of switch so that I could set up my Stealth Rocks, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do here because I don't think Miltank has too much to threaten me with in the first place. So that kind of works out. I get up my Stealth Rock, which is gonna be key for Entei later on. I see his Quagsire is cursed, so I'm thinking, he'll not enjoy taking a Leaf Storm. I'm gonna trick that Miltank, but nope, he stays in. And he's locked into Ice Punch, which is gonna go for here, so he does a lot of damage to me, but I know that I'm pretty much safe and this Quagsire is down for the count because a Cursed Quagsire locked with a Scarf, it's not gonna be useful whatsoever. So I go into my Almamola, and at this point I'm going to pull out a double. I'm gonna go into my Durant, predicting him to go into his Rotom Cut. I actually did not predict this. I kind of thought Tangrowth, but hey, he switched to Rotom, so I've got to switch out. He's going to go for a Volt Switch, pretty obvious. I'm going to go into my Druddigon to take it because it's resisted. And he goes into his Aerodactyl, trying to set up his Stealth Rock, finally, which he hasn't done yet. So I'm going to go for a Dragon Claw, as he does indeed set up some Stealth Rocks. I really don't care, could not have done anything to prevent that from happening. And now I'm going to go for a Sucker Punch. He probably didn't see it coming, but hey, most Druddigons nowadays carry. But hey, Aerodactyl would have been dead by Stealth Rock anyway, so I'm going to leave my Druddigon in as a Sleep Fodder because I think he's going to go for a Sleep Powder, and he does. Druddigon is really my best thing to go sleep at the moment. And yes, he has, I'm going to switch out, and he's going to switch out as well. I think it is. Yeah, he is. He's going to go into his Quagsire. He's locked. I'm sorry, his Scarf. So, yeah. I would go for a Giga Drain, but I'm gonna go for an HP Rock, predicting the Entei or the Miltank coming in, and that works. I nailed that right on the money, hit Entei with an HP Rock, and he's going to die upon Stealth Rock switch in. He decides to go for Flare Blitz, but I pack my Almamola with me, so Entei goes down due to the recoil, and I'm standing there just fine. You know, doing Almamola things. So now he's gonna go into his Rotom. I'm going to protect to scout whatever he goes into, or whatever he goes for, my bad. And I see Volt Switch, so I'm going to my Sleep Fodder, my Druddigon, to take this, because there is really not a single reason why I would not go into this. Because even if something is a setup sweeper, I really don't give a crap. He goes into his Quagsire, not really sure why. I mean, he could go for the Ice Punch, I guess, so that's why I'm going to switch into Alomomola. He makes the weirdest play ever. He goes for a Curse. I guess he did not remember he was locked. I don't really know. He probably didn't remember, that's right. So, he's gonna go into his Miltank, and I'm going to Wish up right here, because I don't know what's gonna go ahead of me, so I'm gonna go for Toxic as he goes for Workup. So now I see, holy crap, this thing is a Workup sweeper. And I'm like, okay, I can just easily stall this thing out. I think he's gonna boost up again, and he does, so I'm gonna go for Waterfall to rack up some damage. And I don't know if this thing has Heal Bell or not, so just in case he doesn't and he wants to hit me with a physical move, I'm gonna go for a Wish, but I do seal Heal Bell right here, so that's Heal Bell number 1. And you probably already guessed what's gonna happen next. I'm going to stall this thing out of Heal Bells, because Work Up, Milk Drink, Heal Bell, and Body Slam, which is his move, which you haven't seen yet, is gonna be a pain in the ass, so he's at +3 right now. He goes for a Heal Bell. I predict that, go for a Toxic, and I think that's Heal Bell number 2. Don't quote me on that. And he's gonna Work Up. I'm gonna go for Waterfall to rack up some damage to force him to either Milk Drink or Heal Bell off the damage. The poison, I mean. And he's gonna go for a Heal Bell this turn. And I'm going to see that coming, and I'm gonna go for a Toxic. So things are looking very good for me at the moment. I don't know how much damage he's gonna do to me. I haven't calculated, and I really didn't care. I'm gonna go for a Wish as he recovers up with a Milk Drink. That's fine by me. He goes for a Heal Bell. I predict that again, and I go for another Toxic. So I'm fucking this man up with some Toxics and Wishes. Hello. He goes for a Heal Bell. I really didn't care. I just went for a Waterfall, trying to get some damage in this turn. He goes for a Body Slam, and I see it does around 72%. So I'm thinking, maybe after +6, I won't be able to take it. I don't know what he's going to do, but I know that if I die here, I'm gonna be able to revenge kill with something else. So he decides to Milk Drink so that that thing doesn't happen. And I'm gonna go for a Protect on this turn, and he goes for a Heal Bell. I had to Protect just in case he went for a Body Slam. So yeah, that's totally fine by me. He's gonna go for a Work Up. I need to go for a Toxic, trying to wear his Heal Bells down little by little. And yes, in this turn, I went for a Toxic, I believe, predicting his Heal Bell. Yes, I did, but he made a good play. He went for Work Up. I guess he outplayed me there. And at this point, he's gonna go for a Milk Drink, and I went for another Toxic, predicting the Heal Bell, because the Toxic damage is racking up extremely fast. So at this point, he has to go for a Heal Bell. I go for another Toxic, and that is Heal Bell number 7, so he only has 1 more left. And he goes for Body Slam here. I notice he does 95%, and I go for a Waterfall. Now, if he kills me right here, I really don't care. I have stuff to revenge kill him. It's the same position as we were before. He goes for a Milk Drink. I kind of saw it coming, so I went for a Waterfall to rack up even more damage to force him to Heal Bell or Milk Drink again. And for this reason, he's gonna go for a Heal Bell. I predict that, and I go for my final Toxic. So this Miltank is put permanently on a time clock, and if he doesn't heal, he's gonna get revenged. So I'm gonna go for a Wish. I totally nailed that, and he is forced to either recover or go for a Body Slam. I really don't care, I just want my Protect. And at this point, he goes for Milk Drink, gets back to full, and I need to go for a double Protect because of how much it did in the previous turn. I go for it, and I fucking landed, bitch! You mad, bro? Alomomola stalling out a Miltank. Hell yeah. He goes for Body Slam, gets kind of a low roll in my opinion. I really didn't give a fuck, he probably got max damage before. So I go for a Waterfall, and the Toxic damage is enough to take this Miltank out. So you just saw an Alomomola owning a +6 Miltank. How do you feel about that, homie? I'm gonna go for Protect, just to gain some leftovers. But at this point, I really just didn't give a shit. I just wasted a lot of time winning this battle, so I just wanted to make these things quick. I tried to go for a Toxic, but he kills me with a Giga Drain. It's not a big deal because at this point, once that Miltank was down, I already knew that I would win regardless. So I'm just gonna go into my Lilligant, go and put something to sleep. He decides to stay in with his Tank Growth, so I guess that works out way better for me than anything else. He goes into his Rhythm. I'm gonna go for a Quiver, and I know he's going to Trick, so I'm going to Quiver before he tricks so that I'm at +2. And that is exactly what he does. He's gonna go for a trick here, and at this point, if I click Giga Drain, I'm pretty much set to win because Tangrowth is asleep, Rotom gets 2 KO'd, and Quagsire just straight up dies. I'm gonna go for a Giga Drain. He goes for Thunderbolt desperately, but he gets a fucking crit and kills me. I'm like, hello? What are you doing, brother? But it's still not gonna be enough to take me down because Gallade is just gonna come in, go for Shadow Sneak, take out this Rotom, and Quagsire is locked because he's a Choice Scarf user. And he decides to do the same thing. He goes for Curse. I really don't understand, but I guess he's just giving up at this point. Nothing that he would have done would have really stopped me from sweeping at this point unless he was unaware, but looking at the damage I'm going to do in the last turn because he's actually going to switch out of here and go into his Tangrowth, which is asleep. But as I'm going to say, and as I was saying before, the damage output I did with the close combat really doesn't seem like unaware Quagsire to me, so he's just going to send that in, and I'm gonna go for one final close combat, take this thing straight out. He actually lives with 72, but I don't know, maybe he's specially defensive and he's unaware, that's probably it. But I really don't give a crap. I'm gonna go for a Shadow Sneak, finish this thing off, and that is the end of this long-ass fucking battle. Oh my god, Alamamola, you've earned so much respect from me. Later, guys.